Well, hello, everybody. I'm with one of my new besties. Okay, me and Jade are besties right now. She is wonderful. I can't wait to get into her story and learn more about her. And we're highlighting her and her amazing community. And Jade, it is a Tuesday. How's your Tuesday going?
It's been all right. I have been taking care of a tiny little kitten for a little bit. So we got like some kitten care, get some lunch going, and today is like actually one of my rare like surprise stream days. So I get to
Oh,
stream today too. So it's a lit time being here with you and all this other stuff. So I'm very very grateful to be here. It's a good Tuesday.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you so much for giving me your time because I know it's precious. So, content creators are busy, y'all. And yes, I am one and work too. So I know I'm the most busy of them all, I swear. But if y'all don't know who I am Ashley, also known as Miss Ash Rocks. In the streaming space, I am Twitch community manager. I get to highlight amazing folks like Jade and all the wonderful other fundraisers we have chatted with and charities. So you will catch me here live twice a week on our Twitch channel. And of course, you'll see me all over our socials doing some fun things too. So thank you so much for joining us today to hear Jade's story. So, Jade, my dear, if you can share with us, your content creation journey from the start to now and share your pronouns with us too.
Cool. Hello. I'm JadeValkyrie. I use she, they pronouns. I originally started as a cosplayer on the ye old days where Instagram was a photo app. I did lots of cosplays starting in 2017. And then I think I started streaming around 2019, if I believe, on and off. And now I do streaming and cosplay. And I've also recently gotten to hosting and tabletop RPGs. So I do a lot of talking and a lot of pretending to be something that I am not. I love the idea of like, stepping into a character's shoes and then becoming them. If you can tell already, I was a theater major, so it's in my
Mhm.
training. And now I just love to do all of that. I also have a huge love for esports, so I do esports hosting as well with Apex Legends, League of Legends, Overwatch, a lot of the things. If I just love talking in games.
Jade has the best hair. Yes, Izzy. Yes, yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
Absolutely. I had to stick with her with the colored hair, so I couldn't leave her hanging. So I got my red. I got
Gang
my
gang.
red. This year, hair is giving times two. Thank you, Boo. Appreciate it. And make sure you all go follow Jade on Twitch. We have our Control Plus extension, so make sure you utilize that. You can follow us both on Twitch. All right. So Jade, thank you so much for sharing a little bit about your journey so far. I didn't know you started off doing cosplay, then you got into streaming. What inspired you to start doing cosplay?
I think that what inspired me to do cosplay was like I it's a funny story actually. I accidentally went to a convention, if that makes any sense. Like, my dad and I, we were in Dallas, I believe. We were passing the time because my mom had to do something for work. And we saw a bunch of people in Star Wars gear. And my dad is a huge Star Wars fan. And I'm like, I guess I would say medium Star Wars fan. Like, I'm like, I like Star Wars, but like, I'm not going to go out and buy like a lot of merch at the time. It changed later. Now I'm a big Star Wars fan, but so we just went to the area and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's like $20 to go in," which also tells you about the time because con tickets are not $20 anymore. And so we went in, and
Mm.
that was apparently Dallas Fan Expo. And so we went around the hall. And we're just like, "Oh my god, this is amazing! All of this nerd gear and whatnot." And I started talking to a bunch of people in costume, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's cosplay." There's lots of tutorials on like Tumblr and DeviantArt art because at the time the cosplay was not that big either.
Yeah.
And that kind of just inspired me to do cosplays. So my first cosplay was She-Hulk because I was like, I'm gonna cosplay my favorite character if I'm gonna cosplay. And when I tell you that cosplay was bad, it was bad. But I thought it was the shit at the time or the crap at the time.
I
I'm sorry.
No, it's
uh,
fine. No,
um,
I see
I
pictures
wow.
of this. I
Hmm?
want pictures of She-Hulk. Do you have pictures of it?
I think I do. I can show you the Twitter. But yeah, I had posted like a side by side. I don't have a picture of the first scuffed cosplay. I have a picture of the second one where I found out how to get like the paint that doesn't come off when you touch it.
Oh, is that
But
the one that's in your banner?
yeah, that's the I would say that's the third time I did it because I've done it way more times. It's like a it's one of those cosplays I keep on have evolving onto. So like
Yeah.
I just recently did another iteration for the new show. So I think that's my fifth or sixth time doing a cosplay of it. I still do parts of it. So like the bodysuit that I have is still the bodysuit I had from the second time that I cosplayed. Of course with alterations because body fluctuates. But I've gotten better, slowly better with the body paint, and slowly better with mixing in my own flavors. Because this most recent She-Hulk has curlier hair, with like of course that lace front, but I'm gotten like the little green into the scalp. So I'm like
Yes.
always constantly evolving that cosplay because it's one of my favorites.
That's so cool. I love your cosplays. That's how I found you first through your cosplay. I was like, "Oh my god, black women in cosplay." Automatic follow. I want it all. I want it all. And you're so talented. Like, I hope you know that. Like, your
Thank
work is incredible. I love it. I love it.
you.
Okay. And it's inspiring me to get back into it. I said I was going to do it
Yes,
this month.
do it, do it, do
Didn't
it, do it, do it, do
I
it, do
didn't do it.
it.
But like I said at PAX, next month is my month, baby. I got
Let's
this.
go.
So, with the topic of cosplay, I want to see
Mhm.
more black women collabing with cosplayers. I don't care that
Mhm.
we are on the East Coast, West Coast. We could still collab and do like a whole thing. I don't know. I think that would be super cool. And we can like edit it together to make it look like we're together. I don't know. I
Yes,
think it'd be cool.
100%. I we tried something very and it was like just like a taste of it and it got me super excited with like the Noir Network. We did like a little bit of everybody was Pokemon trainers. And that one was really awesome seeing like Madam M and Infamous X1X and we're all doing these Pokemon trainers. I was like a ghost type Pokemon trainer because of course it's purple and it's spooky, so therefore it's definitely Jade. Uh, so I just love it so much. It's one of those experiences that I think that it could definitely. I just want like a huge collective, or like a big meetup, if you will, of just like
Yes.
all Black women cosplayers. Because honestly, we kill it. I mean, like we're accustomed to setting trends when it comes to hair, when it comes to makeup, when it comes to style. So why not put those
Everything.
like
Everything.
everything literally. So putting those into cosplay really easy. Because some of the like very much I would say traditional style cosplayers that are white essentially sometimes they have these tutorials where they found something amazing like oh my gosh I found this way to get like your lace fronts for your cosplay like laid down and I'm just like you just use wig glue.
Right.
So it's I we the unique our unique experiences actually do help our cosplays and kind of give it that extra like pizzazz, making it our own.
Absolutely. And I can't wait because I have so many in my closet. And I know I have some some wigs that I've, freestyled myself and make it look like me, like make it look like my own little twist on those characters. So you just wait, y'all. We're getting there. We're getting
we
there.
waited.
And
We
you
waited.
might see me and Jade. You might see me and Jade doing something together. Maybe something's brewing. You never know. So keep it coming. But that's amazing. I love your cosplays. Never stop. You're killing it. And thank you so much for sharing your work with us. Because yeah, So good. So good. Really, seriously. I want to see you blow up. I want to see your cosplay pictures everywhere, all over the place. I'm serious. Like really, really good. So again, you're amazing. And I wanted to ask you, what was your favorite cosplay you did?
Oh, so I already talked a lot about my shield, so I think I can't say that it's also my
Nope.
favorite.
Nope.
I will say that my second favorite cosplay, I think will have to be the most recent one. I just posted it an Instagram reel, so click plug to my Instagram if you want to go see the my selfie photos where I did just do a photo shoot of it. So we have cooler photos coming out. But if you want to see a little bit of it, I just recently did a Bowsette cosplay um, with the red hair and everything. So that was one of my faves. I did a little like closet cosplay when it first came out and it was like super duper viral, but at the time I just couldn't afford to like really put like the time and the effort that I wanted to into it because I mean like I was still in school. And now that I'm out of school and I have more time, I really was able to like, grab more pieces, grab things the way I wanted to, get help from like a wig stylist to get like, that really big like fluffy because like with Nintendo they have like that big hair, so had getting
Mhm.
help there for making like the big hair and whatnot. So that is probably one of my favorites because it was a long time coming. I originally set out to shoot that last year with the photographer that I just shot with like Saturday. And when we met, we're just like, we finally did it. Let's go. So I think that just because of
Nice.
like the journey and collaborating with other people, I had someone help me because it's a bunny suit. And with plus size cosplayers, you definitely need a lot more support when it comes to bunny suits. And a lot of pre made stuff is not made to suit plus size cosplayers. So it definitely takes a lot more work and effort, either time or money or quality, that pyramid of stuff. So
Mhm.
in this case, it took a little bit more time and a little bit more money and making sure that I'm budgeting properly because I can't just, spend willy-nilly on the cosplay. So I think that
Why
that one,
not?
since
Yes, you can.
yeah, tell that to the people that set my rent. Be like- but I wish. But I honestly just the entire process of it and it being like more of like a collaborative style cosplay really made it like probably one of my new favorite cosplays. And I'm just feeling myself with this one. And it's just like mm, 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 mm,
Yes.
mm. So that
I
also
love it.
always makes me feel good.
I love when you feel good in a cosplay and the makeup you spend doing and then the hair. Oh my gosh.
I did
And then
not wanna
just
take off that
sometimes just
makeup. I was just like, "Can we go
yeah.
out? Can we go out to eat?" And then my partner was like, "I'm tired." And I'm like, "Well, I'm just gonna take some selfies and do some TikToks while I'm at it here."
That's the best way to do it. Anytime you get all, dolled up, take as much content as you can and repurpose
Yes.
it. Well, I do see your new cosplay. I love it. You look amazing. So I can definitely say that is your second favorite. Okay. And I can't wait to see the other She-Hulks that you did because I love She-Hulk and I'm loving this show right now too. So this is fresh right now for me. Yeah. I want to see more pictures.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for talking about your cosplay journey and everything you have planned for the future. Super excited. And we're going to get into the fun part of the chat, which is fundraising with Tiltify. And I wanted to ask you, what inspires you the most to fundraise with your community?
I would say what inspires me the most to fundraise with my community is that I came from like I wouldn't say a very income household. Both of my parents were just they went through the entire education system. So although we were making money, there a lot of it was going towards, student loans and things like that. So I never really had like extra stuff. I had everything I needed, but nothing extra. So when I went to college, the same thing was that. And a lot of the times when I would need something, I would apply to scholarships, I would apply to grants and things like that. And those are really what helped me through. Shout out to 100 Dreams Fund for being one of those that really helped me get like my first like stuff for streaming. I was streaming from like my PlayStation 4 with like a PlayStation camera until then, which is nothing wrong with that. But of course, you can play more games and do a lot more when you're streaming from PC. Actually, I think I got these headphones from them too. So there's that. So that is so having that and having the experience of being on the recipient end of scholarships and grants and other people's charity inspired me that when I am able to put back into those charities, put back into causes that I believe in, that help others like me that or have similar circumstances to me. So that I think that that is the biggest thing is giving back from keeping the blessing going, if you will, because they helped me start. So therefore, I want to help other people get their start or help them in their needs or their niche interests get what they need and get what they truly desire and the help that they need. So that's what majorly helps me or inspires me to fundraise.
That's amazing. I love that. And A Thousand Dreams Fund has helped so many femmies in this space. Let me tell you, me included. And I won't forget when you reached out to me. You're like, hey, I'm going to be on front page fundraising for A Thousand Dreams
Yeah.
Fund. Tag you. And I was like, be you, be yourself, have fun. And I think I told you about crowd control at the time and all those fun things. I was like, just take advantage of the features, make it fun, do as you want, do as you please. And it went great for you. And I love that. And, like you said, you're passionate about these causes that you want to give back to, especially for all the lovely, lovely support they did for you too. So I think that's amazing. And, uh, a Thousand Dreams Fund just nails it out of the park all the time. All the support and grants that they give us, especially students that are streaming as well, and ladies in
Yes.
STEM. Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is that they also, besides like, monetarily wise, they also have like the programs and like different opportunities. Because I said I recently got into hosting and they were the first people to get me like a like major hosting like opportunity working with HyperX. Like I was like, how can I get into hosting? I really like it. But of course, it's really hard to, say yes to a person that has no experience. So getting that one really, really good experience is enough to like get me like kickstarting going. So I really do have a lot of love for them and a lot of love for the other organizations that have helped like through my college career and the ones that I just really feel need more love. Those are the organizations that I'm usually drawn to support.
Absolutely. And I wanted to ask you a little bit about causes that you resonate with. Just if you can just give us a list of causes that you like and are
Mhm,
passionate about supporting, even if you did in a previous years or you plan to support them.
mhm. I think that for number 1 for me is always, like, just I'm rooting for all Black women. I'm just gonna be real here. So a lot of things that support Black women, support women of color overall, because we have a lot of overlapping experiences, things that support disabled folk and mental health. Because those are two huge things for me. Being a chronically ill person, which is something that's more of an invisible illness, so it's not something that a lot of people clock from me until recently, where I started using a wheelchair. So now people are becoming more aware my disability. And of course, COVID has made a lot of people have to disclose if they didn't want to. I mean, I disclosed, but for other people, it's becoming more and more popular for them to disclose their disabilities, as well as something that I just started. I just found out recently, which was super dear to my heart. There's an organization called Minorities and Shark Sciences. And a little known fact is that before I got into theater and before I got into just like the gaming scene, I actually studied to be a marine biologist for 3 out of my 4 years of undergrad. So imagine that pivot the last senior year of taking different classes. But I didn't get into it because I was there was only 3 women in the entire program, and we had a pretty robust marine biology program. And I was also the only woman of color in there. And there's
Wow.
also some terms of like disabilities and expectations that just didn't really resonate with me. And so that partly made it easier for me to say, okay, I'm going to leave this behind and go into theater instead. But minorities and shark scientists, or MIS as they will, really they support all of that. They're nonprofit and they give like fellowships and tips and tricks and fundraise for these paid internships, which is really crucial in the marine biology, especially elasmobranchology, which is the study of sharks, in case people don't know, in that space. So I just think that that's just an amazing cause, and that's something that I wish I had. So a lot of times when I'm thinking of stuff that I want to do and that I would like to uplift or inspire, a lot of the things are things that I wish I had when I was younger. So since that is an organization that I absolutely wish that I have, that's something that I personally want to support in any way possible. So I'm currently trying to figure out how I can support them in any way possible and perhaps get them on Tensify. Let's see.
Come here. Come here. We want you.
Yes, because
Yes, we will
it's just
work on
so great.
getting yeah, we'll work on getting them signed up because that is something we need on our platform, and you could definitely be, uh, a person that could speak for them and, inspire other people to support the cause too. So, absolutely, we will work on that and get we will get started on that today, okay? Yes, we're gonna do the first steps
We
'cause
got it cooking.
yes, we're gonna be cooking and scrambling and boiling and serving. Okay. Yes. Yes, ma'am. That's amazing. Thank you so much. And you talked about being chronically ill and you said invisible disabilities. And I want to ask you, as a person that is directly affected by that, how can people in a Twitch community advocate for creators with disabilities, especially invisible ones?
Yeah, I think there are two major things that come to mind for me. The first is to believe someone when they disclose. I feel like there's a lot of like I guess eye rolling or sighing or just like, well, I don't
Mhm.
want to work with them anymore. Some like, stigma around it. Because you think that these people will be inconsistent or they're making excuses or like is for example, like I recently had to do a GoFundMe for my mobility aid and then another GoFundMe for medication because medication is very expensive, but it's also very hard to get a traditional salary paid job as a person with a chronic illness. So, and then for people, I'm personally not one, but people who are on governmental disability, they have a certain cap of how much that they are able to earn. So there's that. When your cap is about like I think it's about 2,000 or total per month, but if you live in California, your rent is probably around above 2,000, and then medications are also very expensive, doctor's visits, or other costly things when it comes to disabled people. If you are chronically in pain like me, sometimes you can't get up to cook dinner, so you have to order Uber Eats or something like that. You have to order food. So there's a lot of more cost to it. There's disability tax is what we call it. So I feel like trusting that the people that are asking for help because they really do need the help. Because personally, for me, it's really, really hard. And every time that I have to do it, I feel like, a little bit embarrassed, if you will, that I couldn't do it on my own or like that my work wasn't good enough. But that's just because the odds were stacked against me and other people like me. So that's number one is just believe and help, destigmatize that. The second thing I think is for, I guess, newer streamers and people who give streamer advice is that the I guess some of the like rise and grind mindset, you gotta be streaming like every single day for 4 hours a day and have a schedule that you adhere to strictly. And if you don't adhere to this strictly, then you'll never make it as a streamer. You never worked hard enough. That's not possible sometimes. That's not possible for most people. And then you add in having a disability that perhaps has flare-ups or has things where things happen. Life happens. Life happens for everyone and especially happens for people with illness. So having that mentality that if you can't do that, then you're not worthy enough to be a good streamer is inherently ableist. And not right by any means. I personally, I'll call myself out. I'm not the most consistent streamer, but I found other ways to make sure that I have content out there and that my voice is out there and that I am doing the stuff that I love and sharing that with other people. So even if that means that, hey, I can't do the stream a week, but here's some tweets about what I think, or here's some cool stuff that I found about gaming, or sprinkle in some other platform content like Instagram or Twitter, TikTok, things like that. So really just finding ways to have a sustainable way of content creation, and that's what I feel like people should lean forward to instead of having this more ableist language around how to make it as a content creator.
Wow, that is also powerful and important, especially again as new creators. Yeah, the grind mindset. I'm like, no, no, be you. Set your own schedule
Be
and take
healthy.
and be healthy. I used to stream for like 16, 18 hours, like
Whew.
consecutive days for no reason. And that was when I wasn't was I working? I clearly I wasn't working. I think on the weekends in particular, I would just sit there playing PUBG for 16 hours and
Wowza.
18 hours. And I was like having fun, but I was like, my body hurts, my brain can't think, and I just can't. I woke up one day, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. 5 hours, I'm done. Maybe you'll get a good 8 hours out of me if I'm really enjoying a game. No, I gotta get some rest. And I was commuting to work at the time.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. That is a
yeah,
lot.
I'm just gonna tell you right now, I fell asleep driving. And you know what? That was like the oop, nope.
Wake
You
up
can't
call.
grind. You can't do that. And Jade, I promise you, I had my eyes closed for maybe 20 seconds, but I was still driving and I was fine. I was like, oh God,
That's good.
God is watching over me. But oh no. And that was when it was before I it's a good wake up call. Like you don't need to grind this partner and you don't it's fine. Just do you and be healthy and partnered. So I'm having internet issues. Sorry. Hiccup.
And this
We're okay now. Sorry.
yeah. I got the gist though.
Okay.
We're
Sorry.
A-okay.
But yeah, that was a wake up call. Like, no, take care of yourself and then you'll be rewarded, not because of this grind mindset and you're just hurting yourself more and more by the stream. So yeah, that was my wake up call. And yeah, I get my sleep. I just need a good 4 to 5 hours and I'm okay. That's all I need. But of course, everybody's different. And again, disabilities are so important in this space. And we have to destigmatize it, And I really, really appreciate Jade for coming here today and talking about it. And I'm telling you, there's simple acts and actions that you can do to make your stream accessible, such as captions, uh, colorblind mode, a whole bunch of things that you can do with your gameplay for your stream to just be accessible to other people. And I'm sure there's more that Jade can touch on too, just with your gameplay and stream that can help out people.
Yes, definitely. Like you said, captions, color blind mode. One personal thing that I love to do is since I do a lot of like story based games and I do a lot of D&D and tabletop RPG streaming. So there's a lot of catching up that we like to do. A lot of like giving answering questions in chat in case people are like curious or having a trouble understanding, or maybe just don't have the time to like go back and watch like all three. At this point I think in my current show we're at episode 6, so all 6 episodes that are 2 to 4 hours long, because that's not really something that everyone can do. I always encourage people who are doing tabletop streams to really cap it at 3 to 4 hours if they can, just because for a lot of people that's a lot, and then chopping that up to make it into more digestible pieces for people. There's just so many different resources out there. And also I would think for like game devs and stuff, like the ability to change like your what is the word? And got it off the top of my tongue.
I
You
know
like your inputs. Yes, your inputs as
yes,
well
thank you.
as
I was like
your I was like the thing where you point the inputs. Also I see Adri in the chat also. Hi Adri. A solid halfway breakaway in between of those longer streams to make sure that because sometimes people will be so invested into your work and then they won't realize that they need to like also take a break. So you take a break and then tell your chat also to take a break. It's a
yes.
double whammy. But like changing your inputs in games, changing difficulty settings in games, things like that, because a lot of
Oof.
the times, like for me, experience numbness in my fingertips a lot, and in my hands in general. So sometimes there's some days where I am super duper good esports gamer and I'm like getting on to League of Legends and juking people and all that, and other times where I just really can't do those inputs as quickly as possible. So for those games, I just have to not be able to play them. But then luckily, there are other games where they have lower difficulty settings, so then I can like change that as I am able to. So on the days where I can't put those inputs in, I can still have a good time. And then on those days where I'm feeling a little cocky, I can do those at what they would put as like I guess intermediate or hard, if you will. And I just really like that. I think one of the games that recently did that really well was Saints Row, the newest one. Not only did they have a slider of difficulty, but they had a slider in terms of like different scenarios. So let's say that like you're okay with doing the like all the shooter elements and things like that, but the steering for the car was really really difficult for you, and the car combat was really difficulty for you. They had a slider particularly for that situation where you can make that less difficult, and I feel like that is a great direction in terms of difficulty settings because there's a lot of different reasons why people do that. You also don't need to have a disability to, be to appreciate a good difficulty
Yes.
slider as well.
Yeah,
So there's that too. So
absolutely.
it's I think one of my, although I don't even know why it's controversial, it is one of my favorite like accessibility features in games.
I remember when difficulty in games were brought up when Elden Ring came out, and
Man,
the
I tried really hard at Elden Ring, I tried. But in the end, I had to watch somebody else play the rest of it for me, but I tried.
it's difficult. It's difficult for a disabled individual to they can love that game series and love, watching people play it and they want to experience it for themselves, but they can't because there's no options available, which makes no sense. I get the game is meant to be rage inducing and difficult, but you should still have an option for players that just want to play and experience the story. I don't get it. Twitter was up in arms.
It was a moment. It was a
Yeah.
moment and a half, and it was this conversation that I had to have within my community as well because I have a lot of people who are really big fans of the Souls likes and like Soul series, and we just had to have that conversation where it's just like this is not like ideal for me and my disabilities. I was able to get decently far, but in terms of like because I still have my like eyesight, I still have my hearing and things like that, so there are a lot of other people who have different disabilities who weren't able to experience a lot of that game. So there's a lot of stuff going on there that was just like while we all are loving this game, I'm not trying to take away that love for the game, we can also recognize that there are some flaws within this game. So that was a good conversation, and I'm glad that it went over well because then otherwise we'll be like, get out of here. But
Right.
I'm glad it went well, and it was a great, lovely moment within the community to be like that we had this and that we are now there's a lot more, I guess, awareness of not only the disabilities that people within our community face, but the outside of our community because we do exist out into the ether, into the real world, out into the void. That's what we call ourselves, um, and that it's just more about us in our little bubble. So we're more than just ourselves.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. And yeah, we're always going to continue to have that discussion and advocating for disabled individuals in every space. And all these AAA devs, they better take notes from all these other games. I'm so happy Saints Row has accessibility options like that. Like, that is so freaking cool. Y'all need to take notes. Take notes right now because I have never heard of something so detailed like that before. Like, oh, this particular part isn't best for me, but this is okay, but this isn't. So let's lower the difficulty on that and that. So that's awesome. I'm going to play that game now. I bought it, I have it installed. So we will put that
And
in the
there's
menu.
also, although it could be better, it is better than most games in terms of body diversity and like character creator diversity, etc. So there's also that, which I found is also neat. I think I
It's
talked about that
fun.
with Tanya Cipher of Tier
Yep,
on our panel at PAX West. But yeah, it was just one of those like, this is a great step in the right direction.
absolutely. You can finally make big bodies in games. I love that, and I think we need to play Jade. So,
Yes,
are
definitely.
you gonna play with me?
I
Because
have
nobody
almost
has
finished.
it.
I do, and I still play.
Good. I was like, I heard this about the game." I'm like, "I don't care what you heard, just buy the game and let's play. Get your own experience out of it."
Sometimes a game doesn't need to be a game of the year. It just needs to be something that you enjoy. And
Yeah,
that's my philosophy on games. I just, if the game gives me joy, then it's a great game in my opinion.
absolutely.
I used
A
to be a game reviewer. I can tear things apart if I need to, but sometimes you just want to have fun, you know?
Ooh, do you plan on doing content like game reviews again,
I
maybe?
don't I think that I would probably not do them in the traditional sense anymore. I used to do it on like a website that was similar, like guess to like IGN or Game Rant or something like that, where you had like this very, very long-winded discussion about this and this of the game. But I think I want to do more like very opinionated, acknowledging my own biases reviews where I'm just like, this game lets me be a black woman that kicks ass. Already it's at a 7 out of 10. Who cares that it's a little bit buggy? I loved it. 9 out of 10. I think that that's more
Yes,
of my style nowadays. I tried to be very, like, I guess, it was very much like not me when I was doing those game reviews. And some of them I really did put my honest opinion on, but there was always that feeling of like I must be very, very like, divorced from my identity as a queer black woman. And now I feel like doing them in the style in which I am not divorced from that. I think in my own terms is a much better option. Because there's just some games like that, like the Outer Wilds, for example, was just like whenever Redfall comes out, like Layla is gonna be the only thing you see on my Twitter. Like she already was for a little bit, but as like a goth black girl, I'm like, and vampires. So I think that's probably where my style and the combination of experience will probably see itself in the future. Um, but definitely
yeah,
not in the traditional sense of game reviews.
right. Yeah, I like how when I'm just scrolling TikTok and they do like a cute, cozy review of a game, they'll show clips and they're like, I love
Yes.
this about the game. I love this. This is lacking here, but it has potential to grow and all that, blah, blah, blah. And it's super cool. I like those short reviews of games, 30 to,
Yeah,
60 seconds.
yeah,
And
not the 20-minute think pieces.
right, I'm
I mean,
like,
that's for somebody, but it's not everyone's
it's
cup
not
of tea.
right. It's not my cup of tea. I'm like, I'm gonna experience the game on my own. I don't want you to go piece by piece. I just want like a gist of what you think and how your experience was. But of course, everybody's different. If you are a game reviewer and you love getting into the nitty gritty, that is definitely for you. But yes, let's plan a play Saints Row, please. I'll message you. So yeah, y'all, you heard it here from Jade. You heard how we can do better in a space advocating for disabled individuals. And of course, it's not going to happen overnight, but the more and more that we work on this and have that slow progress, we can really create change in this industry. So keep that in mind and don't be afraid to ask questions. Like, please don't be afraid to ask questions.
Literally, my DMs are open for better or for worse. I'm always happy to chat. Like I said earlier, my passions usually are talking and games, which is funny since I'm an introvert, but I do like talking and like those bursts of loving talking. But I always am
Yes.
happy to chat about anything. So,
Thank you so much, Jade. And we have some cool ending questions here. How
ooh.
does it feel to be able to represent queer and queer Black women in this industry and utilizing your platform to inspire others?
I think that it's kind of cool because there's just such a broad spectrum of people that look different and like we all express, I would say, I guess outwardly our queerness, if you will, in different ways. I feel like there are the people who are like kikiing with their fans, whatnot, and then they're at every single pride. And then there's other people who have maybe like more of a low key approach. And there's butch, femme, all those types of things, and all spectrum. So I love that part of like the queer community of how diverse and amazing that we are. And I love being like a part of that because as a bisexual woman myself, which is kind of more of now a stereotype, if you will, because of my given color palette of my stream setup with the purple and the blue and the
Ooh.
pink, and that axe back there says bisexual battle axe. So it's great overall to be a part of that and to just show that like not every queer person expresses their identity in the same way. A lot of people are like, "What? You're queer?" And it's like, "How did you not know?" like, but I digress. I think that it's just a great community, and I especially just love like representing like the queer side of femininity. So being attracted to women, but also being femme myself, because I feel like a lot of people are like clock butch, um, like women who like women butch sapphics, if you will, as like, oh yeah, that person definitely likes women or like is trying to be a man. All those different stereotypes, but there's not like a lot of, I guess, femme sapphic representation in terms of just being femme sapphic representation for other queers. There's an entire different talk that we could have that probably could be 2 hours on that, but being a part of that community of being like, yes, I love femininity and I love presenting femme, like most of the time, if you will, but that doesn't mean that I still don't love women. Like I love femme women, I love butch women, I love people. I honestly just love any gender, if you will, and sometimes people with no gender at all. So that's just how the cookies crumble, if you will. But I just think that being who I am, and then also being like, yes, I am 100% queer, and there's something you can do about it to change that, especially as a bisexual during Bisexual Visibility Week. Yes, we're visible.
Yes, I was
Uh,
about to say that.
yeah. So I just love that I just love that my existence in itself can make a difference because before in the before times it was very niche. It was only like maybe a couple of YouTubers, and like it wasn't like something that a lot of people were out, and those few people who chose to be out really paved the way for a lot of us creators, to just, be like that and just be who we are. So much appreciated.
I love it. And I just noticed like the purples and the blues and the backgrounds.
It
You're
wasn't
on
intentional, but then I'm just like, wow, I fell into it
here.
really.
You sure it wasn't? It looks great. And hey, you're staying on brand, baby. I love it. I love it. And I really really love you being your authentic self and being so open about everything cuz that you have no idea who you're impacting. You might not see messages from people like, "Oh, thank you so much for all your work," but there is somebody out there that you are inspiring to be their authentic self too. So, you should be proud of that work and keep it up because we need you, Jade. We need you. We need you in all these different spaces. We need you in um T wait, TTR wait,
Yeah, TTRPGs or tabletop role
TTRPG,
playing games. I
tabletop.
just
Okay. I'm always like
TTTTTTTT. Yeah, it rolls off the tongue when you're in there, but once you're outside the cult, you're like, "What are you talking about?" And I like to
yeah.
call it a cult because it's really hard to say no once you have a little bit.
But we need you in that space. We need you in cosplay. We need you streaming, everything. So thank you for inspiring other women, especially Black women and queer women. So keep killing it. I'm so happy we got to chat with you today because I can't wait for all the other fun stuff you have planned with your content. And of course, cosplays. I'm going to be
Oh,
looking.
yes.
Looking.
Thank you so much for having me and, letting me speak. I really appreciate it.
No, no, reverse card, red reverse card. Are you gonna play me back?
Nah, I feel like
No,
I'm gonna lose
no.
this one. I've been on the opposite end where I've been like, the other way. So I'll let you win this round. But next
Yeah.
time you're on a panel and I'm moderating, be on the lookout. That's all I'm gonna say.
Ooh,
And that
Jay,
is,
come for me
yep,
live.
yep. You can clip that. I'm proud of it.
Okay, okay. Well, let me just say you are the best panel moderator I know. Like you kept the flow of the conversation perfect. So thank you. It's just a love fest for you today. So I hope you take it all in. Take it all in.
I am. I am.
No,
I,
you did an incredible job moderating both of those panels. I think you only did 2, right? Or did you do
yeah,
more?
I did
Okay,
too.
the 2 that I was there for. And Izzy in chat, amazing panel mod, amazing human, and gorgeous and
Thank
wonderful.
you,
And keep it
Izzy.
going, Izzy. Keep it going. But thank you everybody so much for being here and just listening to us chat. And Jade, I have a very important mission for you.
All right, what's the mission?
You have to find somebody for us to raid.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Da, 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 da,
That's the hardest
da.
thing you've had to do this stream is find somebody to raid.
Okay. So, do. LOL. It had Tiltify, and I was like, let's go rate. Oh, that's Tiltify. You know what? I think that we should send it over to Kira, please, because they are one of the people that's really inspired me in terms of being more authentically myself. And they recently had some streamer difficulties, but they're now you try getting back onto that saddle. So I want to send some support their
Chigo?
way. Um. Uh.
Chigo.
Oh, is
Chigo.
she go today?
Yes.
Let's go. So yes, fellow,
Mm.
you are supporting a fellow black female cosplayer. Definitely was my inspirations, and then also is just a lovely friend. Now that we've gotten to be friends, um, all of the love.
Perfect. We're going over there.
Heck
And
yeah.
I'm a big fan of her.
Also, if you're in that chat, say good soup. That's what they do. So say
Good
the good.
soup.
Yeah, good soup. Good soup.
Good soup. Okay, got it. Got it. All right, y'all. We have our raid target. Let's get that raid message in chat. Thank you so much, Cami, for being here. I appreciate you. We're gonna be live again tomorrow. We're gonna be playing Overcooked with some
Ooh.
community members. Jade. You sounded excited. Did you want to
I'm
play a
bad at I'm bad at Overcooked, but I'm always down to play it.
okay, maybe we'll see a Jade tomorrow
Oh
doing some
no, it's
Overcooked?
Kira reading out.
Really?
Oh, haha, whoops.
Be
Well,
annoyed with me even more so.
I do have
hmm,
a let's see, a secondary option. Hoo hoo hoo. Ha ha ha. But also just Krista. Krista's also a lovely, lovely individual, in terms of Christology. I am a firm believer that people that have these larger platforms that are also very kind to people who don't have larger platforms, which is honestly sometimes rare to find. And Krista is one
it
of those
is.
people that's kind and very very supportive, no matter like who you are as a content creator, because people are human beings outside their social media following, so they're amazing as well,
Yes,
and
they
they're
are.
chatting.
Yeah, and yeah, Krista is amazing. I've seen her go from here to here. I'm like, go girl, you go.
Deserved. Definitely deserved.
Absolutely. So yeah, let's go give some love to Krista. And she's fundraised with us before too, especially with Gen G stuff. So yeah, let's go
Oh,
give
heck
some
yeah.
love. Heck yes. Jade, can you share where our community can find you on socials, and if you have any last words to share with us too?
Oh, yeah, you can find me everywhere except for Twitch as JadeValkyrie, like below. Here on Twitch, you can find me as JadeValkyrie with a 3 at the end of the Valkyrie. I'll put like a little emoji so you know how it's spelled. Yeah, or here's two emojis because I clicked twice. But yeah, I stream Mondays. I stream D&D homebrew over on Feywild and Out, but it is another Twitch channel. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I stream on my own channel, and then also on Wednesdays I stream D&D. So I'm streaming technically for 4 days a week, but 2 days a week on my own channel, and I also pick up some random things here or there. So the best way to find all of my nerdy shenanigans is to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and put those little notification buttons on because algorithms. Well, that is where you can find me. And my last words of wisdom is that also, not just for me, but for all of the content creators that you follow, especially on Instagram and other platforms like that, is to favorite them, to put those notifications on, because we are creating the content, but unfortunately, sometimes the social media algorithms work against us. So if you like our content, then make sure that you can see it. Yeah.
So
Other than that,
important to
have a
know
good,
that.
great day.
Thank you, Jade. Thank you. Make sure y'all follow Jade all over. All right. She's killing it, and keep up with her content. So we're gonna give some love to Krista. Krista's playing Mafia 3.
Ooh. Ooh.
Now that's gonna be a good stream. Y'all copy that Ray message. You can spice it up with your own emotes if you want. Thank you so much, Jade. I really appreciate you. I love you so much. I'm so happy to
I'm
have
so
you.
happy that you chose me to help over. Yeah.
Of course. Everybody, have a wonderful rest of your day. And please take care of yourself. Please eat, rest. All right. Take a day off if you need to. Please. All right. I love y'all. Have a beautiful day. We'll see you tomorrow.